Hey guys, and welcome back to another video sat behind my desk. Today I'm going to be talking to you about all the cars I've ever owned, telling you maybe a little story about them, why I bought them, and what happened to them. I've had 32 cars, so not as many as some people, but a hell of a lot more than the regular motorist. They've mostly been German, mostly been Volkswagen Audi group stuff, but a few different bits of Japanese cars sprinkled in there, as well as a couple British cars and that. So we'll get into it. My first car was a black 2008 Volkswagen Polo 3-door 1.2. It was very lucky. I was very lucky that my mum bought it for me. I learned to drive in it, and I had it for about 2 years. It's kind of what got me into modifying it. I lowered it, put some wheels on it. Obviously, it was nothing special, being that 1.2 3-cylinder that Volkswagen offered in the Polos back in 2008. It got me to sixth form and back, and yeah, it was fine for what it was. I ended up selling that after having a couple other cars, and I replaced it with a 2014 Polo 1.2, the TSI this time. A lot nicer sunroof and sat nav and cruise control. A lot nicer of a car, and I had that for about 4 years, which was also really, really nice. My second car was a 1995 Mini Sprite, so a 1.3. It was red. I went up to Norfolk to get it. I bought it off of an old gentleman who was no longer able to kind of get in and out of it. Really, really liked that car. It did kind of show me that old cars can be very unreliable. It certainly had some issues with the engine kind of later into the ownership I had of it, and I ended up kind of really getting sick of it. So I traded it, did a straight swap for a Mark 1 Mazda MX-5, and we'll come to that in a minute. My third car, so actually when I was, it was 2014 I bought this. So when I was 19, I had 3 cars all at once. I had that Polo, I had the Sprite, and then I bought my third car, and I still have it. It's my 1985 Volkswagen Golf Mark II, the blue one, marine blue. I remember seeing the advert for it on Facebook Marketplace and actually thinking it was a Mark I Golf, which it was probably a bit silly and a bit naive of me. It wasn't a very good picture either, but it was only around the corner from me, so I went down, happy as Larry, and gave over 600 Great British pounds for this Mark II Golf. And, well, I must have loved it because I still have it, and I probably won't ever get rid of it. Then car number 4 was that aforementioned white Polo 1.2 TFSI. That's the 2014. That was really, really, really good, and it was nice to have kind of a little bit more of a modern car. I mean, granted, when I bought that, it was 2015, so it was only sort of 6 months old. After that, I kind of got into just buying cheap stuff off of Facebook Marketplace. So the next thing I bought was a Volkswagen Polo GTI, but the 6N2, so a 2000 X-Reg. It was cool. It was silver. It was a 5-door, which is not really what you want, and it did have 160,000 miles on it, which was impressive to say the least for that car. I didn't have it long, couldn't get insured on it for whatever reason, so yeah, that was with me for maybe 2 or 3 months. Sold that on. Then was another Polo, another 6N Polo, a 1.4. I had this for maybe 3 weeks. So, a bit of my footage corrupted on some of the cars, so you may see some clips interspersed with me sat here rather than where I'm sat in the previous clip. But we're actually on car number 7. That is a 1999 Volkswagen Bora. This was a GTI Bora, but it was the bad GTI. It was the 2-litre naturally aspirated. I bought it for something like £300 from a man round the corner, which sounds horrible. It was very slow. It had a lot of miles. I didn't have it for very long. I couldn't get insured on it. I got rid of it. Car number 8 was a 1995 Mark III Golf 1.9D. It was sprayed matte black by the previous owner, including the rear windows, making it look kind of like a van. It was very slow, it was very low, it ran on chip fat and was hilarious. I drove it to Leeds and ran it on old chip fat from takeaways. It was a good laugh, but ultimately was very rusty, so got rid of it. I think it got scrapped. Next up, number 9, a 2000 Volkswagen Golf 1.8T. I actually only had this, I think, for like 4 or 5 days. I bought it, it had some running issue. I didn't have time to deal with it, so I just moved it on. I've literally got one picture of it. It's a very blurry picture, you'll see it now. So yeah, first foray into 1.8Ts, interestingly. Yes, so the Volkswagen Bora 1.8T. It wasn't always a 1.8, it was 1.6 that someone had swapped the 1.8T out of Seat Leon and then decided to paint it like camouflage. It looked like a wrap, but I was assured by the previous owner that it was actually paint, which it was, couldn't peel it off. That was actually the car I pulled the engine out of to put the 1.8T into my Volkswagen Golf, my Mark II. What else? I had another Mark II Golf. It was a 1990, still a small bumper, but a 1.8. I bought that off of my friend because he bought it, didn't really like it for whatever reason, knew that I was into Mark II Golfs and offered it to me for a good price. It was red, it was fine. I don't really like the later Mark IIs as much as I do the early ones, so I didn't have it for very long, sold that on. Number 12, my Mazda MX-5. I love this car, and it is probably up there with the number 1 car I regret getting rid of. It was a 91 J-Reg in white with the hardtop, no rust. Oh, it was just a great car. And probably once a year I message the guy I sold it to try and find out where it is. And he can never remember who he sold it to. So I think it's out there somewhere, in a garage somewhere. Number 13, 1992 BMW 325D. So this is what I swapped that red Mark II Golf for. Yeah, 325D. It was cool. I really liked it, although I managed to drive it only 7 miles before the alternator belt snapped. I then got it recovered home, changed the alternator belt, drove it for maybe a week or two, smoking around 325, and the head gasket went. It started overheating. This was right as I was about to go to uni, so I kind of looked at it, it was on the drive, didn't want to fix it, so I just, within the week before I went to uni, stripped it to a bare shell and sold it all off. I still have the gauge cluster in my shed though, and I still have the number plates as well. 14 and 15, so this is, yeah, the BMW 316i, the blue one that I just mentioned, but I also bought a green one. It was complete stroke of luck. I was on Facebook Marketplace and I saw it up for 150 quid just round the corner. So I messaged the guy, said, oh, I'll come get it. Had £100 in my pocket and I went to him, okay, I'll take it, but what's the best you'll do? And he went, oh mate, 80 quid, just take it away. And I was like, yeah, say no more. So 80 quid, bought it. It had no interior other than the front seats and the dashboard. It had like a hole in the exhaust, fuel gauge didn't work, but it was cool. That was actually my first BMW, and it ended up getting crashed, not by myself. So that had to go in the bin. Number 16, 1995 BMW 320i. I was driving around near my house, near Stansted Airport, and I saw it on someone's drive and thought, hey, I'll knock and see if he wants to get rid. It was covered in moss. Had obviously not been used for a while. And to my surprise, the gentleman opened the door and agreed to sell it to me after telling me that many people had knocked and he wouldn't sell it to any of them. But I must have just come at the right time. It was his wife's old car, and I think he was holding on to it for sentimental reasons, but now was the time. So he agreed to sell it to me for the principal sum of £200. This was a 320i wagon, an estate, which was really, really cool. Liked it. It was my first 6-cylinder car. But again, we're going back to, I couldn't get insured on it. So I ended up selling that to a friend of mine over in High Wycombe, who turned it into a drift car, and I believe still uses it as a drift car to this day. Right, number 17. another 1985 Mark II Golf 1.3 this time, not a 1.6. So I was actually again on Facebook Marketplace and I saw it for sale in my town, and I think it was like 250 quid. The only reason I got rid of it was because I wanted something bigger, I believe. I can't really remember now. But I ended up selling it to a friend of mine's girlfriend, and she still drives it. It's still her daily to this day. And every now and again I do talk to her, and she tells me about how the Golf is getting on, which I'm very, very happy about. Number 18. It's my daily that I had for a little bit. It replaced the white Polo that you saw earlier on in the video. Don't know why I bought it, but I was in a moment of, I don't know, strange thoughts, but I bought a 2014 Seat Leon Diesel Estate. It was a 1.6 with an automatic gearbox, and it was red. I had it for, I want to say 2 or 3 years. It was very economical. It wasn't very exciting, but it was very comfortable going up and down the motorway as I was at that time. Not really much else to say about it. It was very reliable, just very boring, I guess. Number 19, a little bit more exciting. I, on the spur of the moment, after graduating uni, decided to purchase myself a 1991 Volkswagen Jetta as a kind of sister car to my Mark II Golf that I'd had since I was younger. It was white. I went to Burton-on-Trent to get it. When I picked it up, there was a CD in the CD player, Riding Dirty by Chamillionaire. Very interesting to find that in a Volkswagen Jetta. And I loved that car. I really, really loved that car. I had it for probably 6 or 7 years, but it was so rotten. It was so rusty, and I really did not want to get rid of it because it started and drove lovely, and I actually really like Mark II Jettas. I really want another one. It was a big bumper, and you really don't see many big bumper Jettas around. It was 1.8, it was a GL, all the bits and bobs, Lecky windows, just a really nice car. I think there's some videos on the channel of it, I think. I can't remember if I got rid of it or not. But yeah, want another one of those, but I had to get rid of it, too rusty. And then, once I got rid of the Seat Leon that I just spoke about, number 20 is my 2003 Volkswagen Golf GTI. This was the 1.8 turbo again, and I really liked this car. It was red, kind of burgundy over cream. I had this for about 3 years, and then I ended up selling it actually to a friend of mine's girlfriend. She still has it. It's still motoring on well as her daily. I do, you know, sort of hear about it once a year or so, and she loves it. So really happy to see that that's still on the road. And I would absolutely have another Mark IV Golf GTI as my daily. It was just good fun. I used it all through COVID, and yeah, highly recommend if you're looking at one. After that, we're about, I mean, this is car number 21. We're about the COVID time now, and I've realized I've actually missed a car off this list. So yeah, me and my friend decided during COVID that we were going to do the NC 500 and that we were going to pay only £500 for a car. So after scouring the internet and deciding that we didn't want to pay for something like a Peugeot 206 because we wanted something a little bit more interesting, we found an Audi 100. It was a 1989 on an F-Reg, and it was in Bournemouth. So we had to travel from Leeds down to Bournemouth to go pick up this car. And it was wicked, to be fair. It was such a nice car. There were a couple of things wrong with it. You'll see there's some videos. This is kind of when I started YouTube, so there are some videos on that car. In fact, there are actually videos on the, quite a few of these cars. On the Mark IV that I just spoke about, there's videos on that as well. And yeah, it was great. It took us 90% of the way around Scotland. We did all John O'Groats and all the way around down to a place called Applecross. And it was just a few miles after Applecross that it broke down and was not able to be repaired. So had to get it transported back to Leeds, tried to fix it, couldn't do it, ended up sticking it on Facebook Marketplace, and someone from Scotland bought it. So it's, I think, now sat in a field in Scotland. So very different to Bournemouth. Then I bought a 2003 Isuzu Trooper, so back into something non-German. I bought it off of a farmer in Scarborough, and I loved that car. It was the 3-door commercial, so van style, and it was just amazing. It was my first foray into off-roading. It was a seriously fun car, and I would 100% have another Isuzu Trooper. I do think that they are one of the best off-roaders that you can get for the money. The problem I had was it was very rusty, standard Japanese stuff. So it came to MOT time, big hole in the chassis, and I was not willing to repair it. So I actually traded it in against my Land Rover, of which you've seen on the channel before, which unfortunately I still no longer have. But yeah, I traded that in against my Land Rover Discovery. Now, I mentioned a second ago that I missed a car off on here. I did, but I've just remembered what it is. During COVID, kind of as COVID was coming to a close, me and Sam, the guy that we did the NC 500 in, we got offered a car in Portugal, in the Algarve, for free, but we had to go and get it. It did run and drive, so we thought, okay, let's book some flights. There were £7 each, because we went at stupid o'clock in the morning with just a backpack. Landed in the Algarve, got picked up from the airport, handed the keys, and the lady went, "Don't ring me if it breaks down." Perfect. So it was a 2002 Volkswagen Beetle in blue with a non-functioning radio. That was very, very interesting on a 15-hour drive back from the Algarve. Had to make some good conversation then. And I had that for a while. I polished it all up, cleaned it all up, put it through an MOT. It was an all right car, just not really my style, to be fair. So I got rid of that fairly quickly. Right, car number 23, I think we're on now. 1999 BMW 328i Sport. I still have that. That's my silver one. It is parked on my driveway, just behind the camera. Love that. 2.8. The BMW I should have got from the start. Number 24, 2004 Land Rover Discovery 2 TD5. Like I said, swapped in the Isuzu for this. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, still, I do miss it. I'd have another one. I really would. Right, number 25, 1991 Volkswagen Polo. So for a little bit, I bought, actually this is what I bought after I got rid of the Beetle. It was a Mark IIF, 1 litre. It was fine. I didn't really drive it. I sold it pretty quickly after. In fact, no, I didn't sell it. I swapped it. And this was a replacement for my Land Rover Discovery. Again, I don't need to say too much about it. There's a video about it below. Number 20. 2004 BMW 320d. Now this was an incredible car. I ended up getting given this by the original owner, so I did pick it up for free, but it had almost 230,000 miles on it. It was a company car that was then bought by the driver, and he just kept it. Kept it serviced, full BMW service history, but it was fleet spec. So this is keep fit windows, no cruise, no heated seats, just black leather, 6-speed manual, 2-litre diesel. And I used it so much, and I honestly would have kept it. I was using it as a daily, and the only thing that changed was I moved back down south, and I was going to be going into London quite a lot. And unfortunately, 320Ds are not ULEZ exempt, and I just couldn't warrant paying whatever it is, £12.50, £17.50 for driving into London all the time. It was just too expensive. So I had, unfortunately, to get rid of it. If I had space, I'd have kept it. But I replaced it with one of the channel's most beloved cars, my 2002 Lexus IS 300. So that is what, geez, number 27. I love it. I mean, there's videos, go onto my channel, have a look. It is amazing, and it's ULEZ exempt. I wanted to still stick with a saloon, something about the same size as a 3 Series, but that stood out a little bit more. Being an IS 300, it does have the legendary 2JZ, although non-turbo, in it. It's absolutely full of all sorts, and yeah, I love driving it. Go watch other videos. Number 28, a friend of mine texted me and went, "I'm getting rid of this Audi, do you want it? I'll do you a deal." And I was like, okay, what does it look like? And he sent me a picture and I went, I'm coming with the trailer. It is, of course, a 1993 Audi 80 with incredible burgundy flip purpley paint. It was so nice. It had done over 200,000 miles, which I thought was insane for a small car like that. It was only, I think, the 1.8 or the 2-litre 4-cylinder. It wasn't very peppy, but it was a real awesome car. And I was going to keep it and I was going to lower it and all sorts, but they're actually really hard to get parts for. So I affectionately named it Ron Burgundy due to the colour. Took it, you know, to a few things that summer, but I couldn't find any parts for it, and something else came up that I needed to make space for. So I had to move it on, and I think it actually got exported. And that moves on to number 29, my 1976 MG Midget. There's loads of videos about it on the channel. Again, I do advise you go and watch those. It's my little project. I picked it up in Birmingham for a very, very small amount of money. And yeah, it's something that I'm really learning more about cars on, you know, having to buy a full Imperial set of tools, and really learning how to get into the nitty gritty of repairing classic cars with it. I really enjoy it, although at the moment it's not working. So more to come on that. And finally, number 30, my 1993 Chevrolet Suburban. Their video went out on that beginning of the year. Do go and have a look. It is a gigantic behemoth of a American SUV. It's completely ridiculous. It's way too big for these roads. Hello, little doggy. And yeah, it's parked on the drive right now. I don't know what else to say about it. It's gigantic and I love driving it. It's a V8. It gets like 8 miles to the gallon and it looks like something that Shrek would drive. Again, go watch the video. Then there's the Mark V Golf 1.4 that I just sorted out for my friend most recently. A 1999 Porsche Boxster. So I've really gone from Polo to Porsche. The Boxster, mid-engine, flat six. Still haven't driven it yet. More videos coming on that soon. There is two kind of notable mentions here. I've also got a 1989 Honda Cub. It's not a car, so I didn't include it in the list. That I've still got. Bought that about 5 years ago. And then I do have a company car. I have a Tesla Model Y that I use day to day, or if I'm driving long distances. I know people will not have nice things to say about electric cars, but it fits what I do very well. And I don't always use it. I use it, you know, do the shopping, that sort of thing. And I will be doing a video on 3 years of having a Tesla Model Y. So do stay tuned for that one. But yeah, that's the list. 32, 33 cars, hundreds of thousands of miles. I know I did 70,000 miles in one of my Polos alone. And enough spent on parts across that to probably buy a small house. Every single one of those cars taught me something. Everything I helped me gather my knowledge about it, how to fix coolant leaks, how to drive a bit better. Which cars do you think I should have kept? Which cars would you have never bought? Let me know. And let me know what list of cars you've had. I'm interested to see what people's collections have been like, because it really shows what someone is like. But yeah, let me know your car history in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.